Hey everyone, I hope you're well. In this video, I want to touch on what we can expect to see in Apex Legends in 2022. At the end of 2021, Apex Legends saw a shift. Some of the biggest names that had worked on the Apex Legends and Titanfall franchises from the very beginning jumped ship to new projects. And whilst it was somewhat scary to see names like Chad Grenier and Vince Zampella finally say goodbye to Respawn, it also meant that new people and new minds were going to be leading what was next to come for Apex Legends. We don't yet know what that means for everyday gameplay for Apex, or whether we'll see much of a shift in direction at all, but we do know there are some pretty big plans coming, so let's take a look at what is coming. First though, I want to say I'm giving 1,000 Apex coins every time I get 1,000 new subscribers this year. You can sign up to the giveaway in the description. Once you've signed up, you'll automatically be entered every single time I do this giveaway. I'd love to hear your opinions on what you think is coming in 2022, but first, let's look at the facts. First up, we know that cross-progression and next-gen console support are likely to drop at some point in 2022. This is quite a small feature in reality, but I know a lot of people have been waiting for it for a long time. With this in the game, you'll be able to basically change your account from platform to platform, go from PS4 to PS5, or even PS4 to PC, which is something that a lot of people have wanted. We also know that 2022 is going to be a good year for new LTMs and game mode variants. 2021 was unfortunately quite a big letdown on this front. Whilst we did get arenas, for a lot of people it just wasn't that captivating, and then it also meant less attention went towards traditional LTMs. This tweet from Josh Medina makes it look like we will definitely be getting new LTMs in 2022, and not only that, Respawn are now hiring specifically for a game designer that can work on new modes. I think it's important to explain the distinction between game mode variants and LTMs here too. I think game mode variants would refer to things like Team Deathmatch, Battle Royale, and Arenas. We already know 2021 was the year that Respawn wanted to go beyond Battle Royale, with specifically speaking more game modes with an S. So who knows, maybe we'll see something like a Team Deathmatch or other style of game mode in 2022. We already know Apex Mobile has Team Deathmatch mode, so it's definitely something on Respawn's radar. LTMs are modes that are limited time modes that modify the existing game somehow. We've had plenty of Battle Royale modes, for example, and even the Arenas Rampart Arena mode too, so expect more of that in 2022. Something that has been talked about previously as well is some kind of new progression system. We know that Respawn has been working on a huge progression system update that could introduce new ways to level up or progress your account. We have no idea what it could be yet, but they said it's taking significant time to develop and they'd rather release it in big updates, so hopefully we see one of these big updates in 2022. For me personally, I've been wanting this for so long. As somebody who is hard stuck in ranked and has already unlocked pretty much every other badge besides the ranked badges, I don't have anything to work towards. Even just leveling up beyond level 500 or some kind of prestige system would be great. Titanfall fans, I know you're screaming in the comments. Generation system, whatever you want to call it. Besides that, I think it would be nice to see some kind of way to unlock items or cosmetics through challenges. Bunch of new badges could be fun too. I would love to see that kind of thing in Apex, and I really hope they flesh this new progression system out with tons of fun things to keep us coming back, even when there aren't new updates to jump into. Lore is a big part of Apex too, and we already know that they want to try and explore new ways to tell lore within Apex itself. They first attempted that with Bloodhound's Chronicles, and I do believe that they'll continue that style of in-game storytelling in 2022 as well. We also know Apex Legends Mobile will finally launch into global release later in the year. Whilst that game doesn't have parity with the rest of Apex Legends, which means it's going to have its own update pace and its own content, we can still see what kind of unique modes and experiences will come in that game to understand what may come to the main Apex game in the future. This tweet suggests that we may even see some kind of animated series similar to Arcane, but who knows if that would be this year or sometime in the future instead. We can see from the latest stories from the Outland trailer that story is a big thing for them, and as they have kept mentioning on Twitter recently, Titanfall is still a core part of their DNA, and I think that what they mean by that is they really want to flesh out the Titanfall story through storytelling within Apex, whether it's with animated series, these stories from the Outland cinematics, or just in-game content. Let's also talk about weapons. Interestingly enough, there was a smart pistol in the latest stories from the Outland cinematic. Now, I very much doubt they'll ever come to the game. I really don't think it will. However, I do think we'll see more Titanfall content coming over to Apex, but weapons themselves is an interesting topic. They already made an interesting statement when Season 11 launched about weapons. They mentioned how it's becoming harder to add more weapons to the loot pool, and they don't want to add a weapon to the loot pool unless it brings some kind of significant addition to the game. So I think that the pacing for new weapons may actually slow down in 2022. We may see less seasons with new weapons. 2021 was a great year for new weapons. Every single season got something new. We had the repeater in Season 8, Season 9 had the bow, Season 10 had the rampage, and Season 11 had the car, all of which are very significant, unique weapons added to the loot pool. But I think it's going to be harder to keep adding unique weapons. Now, I could be wrong here, but this kind of message to me suggests that 2022 may be a little bit quieter on the weapon front, similar to how it was in 2020. Now, that doesn't mean we won't see more Legends, though. I think that they're not going to be slowing down the pace for new Legends for quite some time. I think that's kind of one of the biggest things for a new season release. So expect a new Legend every single season once again, and probably quite a slow kind of rollout for Legend balancing still. As they add more Legends, it's just going to become increasingly more difficult to add valuable updates to the Legends themselves. And I think the meta, Legend-wise, is in a pretty good state right now. We do know that Crypto in 2022 is likely to get a buff and an heirloom. It's following the same pattern of both Rampart and Watson. Rampart was the lowest pick Legend in the game. She got a big buff and an heirloom. Next season, Watson, who also had a very low pick rate, got a buff and an heirloom. So let's expect the same for Crypto in Season 12. Besides that, who knows what else is coming to Apex Legends? Whilst we are seeing a shift in who's running the thing behind the scenes, ultimately, we can expect the sort of pacing for content to be somewhat the same. Expect a new season every 3 months, a new mid-season update, and then sort of smaller patches and updates throughout. At the moment, we're getting 2 sort of big updates and 1 client-side patch each season, and I don't think that will change. I would love to see more content, but it's a pace that they have adopted, and I think that it's going to stay that way throughout 2022. So, with that being said, what would you like to see in Apex Legends in 2022? Let me know. And on top of that, what would you like to see on this channel, more specifically in 2022? Let me know what you'd like to see. I know one of the most requested series was the Pro Loadout series. That's going to come back. So you may want to rewatch some of the Pro Loadout videos that's on screen now, and leave a comment below what you'd like to see next. What Pro would you like to see next on the series? Let me know. Cheerio.